Okay. Thank you, Sejal. Thank you so much for joining this session, the talk show, which is Extreme Gratitude. And I'm really, really thankful to you for joining this session, especially because I really appreciate your consistency because I know you for last many years and I have seen you practicing on a regular basis for all these years, right? So uh, I really appreciate your practice. And since you are not in India right now, you have been to many different places. The best part is that you continue doing so. So that is really amazing. So once again, thank you for joining this session.
Thank you for having me here, Advait. On that note, I can recall that probably it's been nearly 10 years at least that we know each other. So through the medium of yoga,
Yes,
yeah. So yeah, thank you for having me here, and let's start.
yes. Okay. So my first question is about how yoga helps to keep your body fit.
Yeah, so the one very visible impact of yoga is first on your body. Anyone starting
Yes.
yoga for the first time, they can immediately feel the difference. For example, I can tell you that how immense impact it has on my body.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, when I started practicing yoga, my body posture was like my shoulder was drooping forward. I had
Mm-hmm.
like a kyphosis pattern in my shoulder just because as a student, I used to study for long 12 hours. Sliding on the couch, and that created that pattern over the years. And it's only through yoga and doing the back bend, doing some good stretches like Kamukhasan, which involves like internal and external rotation of the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Only through that pattern I was able to undo that pattern. Initially, of course, it was difficult, but then it
Mm-hmm.
is a consistency and the practice, which helps to correct those patterns. So yes, those are some ways that you can undo what your body has been doing in the past, and create a better posture for yourself. So also it is a yoga is a very comprehensive regime of flexibility and strength. It has made me realize the
Mm-hmm.
importance of sitting straight, for example,
Mm-hmm.
having a very strong core,
Mm-hmm.
keeping mobility in your hip joint areas. And of course, it is realizing these benefits of yoga. One who starts practicing yoga never leaves practicing it.
Okay, great. And,
Yeah.
and and I think it directly impacts your personality as well, right? I mean, you feel confident, you look confident, and
Definitely.
right? Yeah, the body language totally gets different, like
Definitely,
so.
and you get that yoga glow, immediately. It's not only you that you feel that, but it's also the people around you start noticing it, and they will start questioning you that, what have you started, or there's a special kind of glow on your face, especially not just with the physical asana, but also the pranayam creates that glow.
Right,
So yeah,
right,
it's probably the higher intensity of prana
right,
also helps there.
right. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, yeah. And my next question is about, how yoga affects or how it is beneficial to your mind, because we'll be talking about body, mind, and then soul. Okay. So if
Right.
you could tell about how it, helps at mind level.
Right. So, for example, yoga, like we discussed already about that, how it impacts your body. Yoga takes us from gross to the subtle aspect, right? So our
Mm-hmm.
body is a gross aspect. You
Mm-hmm.
feel that first, and then you gradually go subtle level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So of course, we all feel calming after doing any sort of exercise, but particularly with yoga, it
Mm-hmm.
increases our awareness on the level of body, breath, and mind. Because
Mm-hmm.
just imagine how wonderful it is to do a forward body stretch after a very tired day or a week, or or a long trekking or running session. So
Mm-hmm.
it has that effect. It feels so invigorating, if you do practice back bend,
Mm-hmm.
your chest feels open, your body feels open, you feel that you take breath effortlessly.
Mm-hmm.
So on your body, it also teaches us how to be mindful about our choices. That's the difference between yoga and other exercises.
Mm-hmm.
uh, gym or and other exercise or running you can do without involving your mind, but while you practice yoga, be it a simple sun salutation, your body, breath, mind, everything gets involved. It is that engagement of mind, which helps us to be aware of our everyday choices, fears, patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is my worry at this moment, uh, why I'm so anxious, or probably I have so many things to do and I'm confused where to start, and what to prioritize. So it is those kind of questions, where yoga, having a strong practice of yoga can can help us to sort out and prioritize, declutter our mind. So yeah, definitely yoga has immense impact on our mind level as well.
Sejal, when you say it helps in your day-to-day choices, so if you could elaborate that more on how it impacts our choices.
Yeah, so it's like this, for example, day-to-day choices, as in the choices which are good for me, healthier for me, it is in
Mm-hmm.
terms of it increases the mindfulness. For example, when for example, so many people, they have struggled with eating healthy food, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have seen so many people around who is practicing yoga. They started saying that after practicing yoga, their choices at eating food has become better, right?
Mm-hmm.
They tend to adopt healthier food and replace the old habits, eating
Mm-hmm.
junk foods,
Mm-hmm.
etc.
Mm-hmm.
Also about
Mm-hmm.
the portion size, you become more mindful of what your body wants, and how much
Mm-hmm.
it should be the portion size. So that's
Mm-hmm.
just one clear example of day-to-day choices that we
Mm-hmm.
make, and that yoga helps there to be
Okay.
aware of what you are doing, and what are the right ways. Yeah.
Right. And probably because, when you do yoga on a consistent basis, you have to adopt certain food habits, right? Some good food habits. And probably because of that, overall, gradually, you become very aware that, okay, no, I should not eat this, I should eat this. And so I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah,
That,
definitely.
it overall impacts the whole body,
Definitely,
mind, and,
definitely, but it doesn't start.
hmm,
Correct.
right.
Correct. So, but it doesn't start with, you start eating good food and then you start practicing yoga,
Huh.
although there's this yama and niyama first and then the yoga, but then that's why I said that, it takes us from the gross to the subtle aspect, right?
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
and that's where this other food choices and the pattern develops,
Right. Right.
the good
Uh,
habits.
Absolutely. Yes. 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 And about my next question is about balancing the emotions, because there are a lot of different practices like belly breathing, or meditation, or pranayam
Right,
and
right.
yoga and everything. So what do you see in your experience, how yoga has helped you to balance your emotions?
Right. So yeah, so this is difficult question. Yeah. So I wouldn't say that I have gained mastery over my emotions, or for that matter, for everyone, right? It is so much work involved that to gain control over the
Right.
emotions. But
Right.
yes, of course, there are some learnings and there are some improvements there. So throughout my observation over these years, but good thing is that you become aware of your emotions. You become anger doesn't control you, but you control your anger, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
better respond to the situation according to the as in you are able to tone down tone down your anger basically. So and then you learn to let go of so many things. Also, you forgive people so fast. You tend to
Mm-hmm.
resonate so much with the universe, that whatever is
Mm-hmm.
happening to you is in the best interest of you, irrespective of your own opinion or people's opinion.
Right.
Yeah. So
But
that's the impact of yoga on the emotions.
Yeah, but Sejal, how do you relate yoga practice with managing emotion? Of course, I asked the question because it works. But if you could explain how it actually works, probably inside the body, there are some changes that is happening because of that. Your maybe some chemical changes that is like managing your emotions, or what? How exactly that works inside the body?
No, it's just that yeah, it's just that your mind calms down. For example, when someone is talking to you in aggressive manner, you don't immediately get aggressive, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
that yoga has that so calming impact on your body. It's also like not just if you only do pranayam, also when you do just your physical yoga, and calms down, your intensity of your thought reduces, right? And then when your intensity of thought reduces, you have better clarity of over what you are thinking. And when you have a better clarity over what you are thinking, you are able to you're able to judge the situation in a proper way, in a neutral manner, and then you're able accordingly you're able to respond, right? So
Right.
that's where this role of yoga comes to manage the emotions. So
Okay.
basically it all comes down to having a good control over your mind.
Okay. Okay. Right. Now, probably a very easy but difficult to implement situation. We, all of us, most probably all of us, we
Yeah.
tend to procrastinate, right? That okay, not today, but tomorrow,
Yeah,
or probably
yeah.
so. And that happens because of is it because of that yoga practices has to be done in the morning, and the morning time we mostly feel lazy, or that's the time where
Yes.
we are in a hurry and all. So how to avoid that, and how to be in that habit of a daily yoga practice?
Right. So, yes, like you said, for early riser, procrastination shouldn't be a big problem, because at least they're able to get up early, they start their day early than the rest of the world. But, and then practice yoga as the first thing in the morning. Yeah. But for example, a typical person like me, I have a kapha vritti, the kapha vritti has like more
Mm-hmm.
earth and element nature in your body. So I'm a very sluggish person in the morning. For example, I have a difficulty in waking up early in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
e- yeah, so I used to procrastinate also, in my
Okay.
practice before. As in, procrastination means, because of course I can't start first thing in the morning, so I have to wait for my day. And
Mm.
you have so many things to do once you wake up. For example, for me, as a working in a corporate, I have to start my day and go about my work at 8 o'clock around, and then come back. So the only time I had left for practice was in evening, like after 6 p.m. And you're so tired, so exhausted, you have so many things that you pass through during the day. So that's what, of course, the difficulty all people face, and that's where the procrastination comes. And then for example, come 7:30 and it's dinner time, and then you realize that, oh, the day is just gonna pass by, right? So the right strategy to beat this is that you have a properly planned week ahead, that
Mm-hmm.
how you want your week to be looking like, right? So it's not just that you just plan the day, but you also plan that what format of exercise or what format of practice that you want to have. For example, you want to do one day back bend, one day inversion, you want to do one day core arm balance. You just plan your days, and then how many minutes. The one important thing is also about, it's not only about practicing 1 full hour or like 45 minutes. It's it's not more about the quantity that you put into the practice, it's more about the consistency. And that is the big thing that I have learned over the years, right? So even if you just have 10 minutes, just go on the mat, start practicing. So that's what it is all about. It's all about the consistency than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you can reduce the procrastination, right? That
Mm-hmm.
you just use whatever time you have. uh,
Mm.
Other thing is that having a like-minded company of the people, that is extremely helpful, right? Like when I
Mm-hmm.
was in Baroda, I had joined a yoga center. Probably you also joined it for some part of time there, right?
Mm.
So I used to go there early in the morning, first thing, like I said, I'm not a morning person, but just because of having that community around me helped me to wake up and go there daily, right?
Right. Right.
So that is one good thing. Like also for weekends, for example, I kept those days for my friends, just to practice yoga. And probably you would also, as my friend, would have joined on my weekend classes on Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a good treat, right? That
Mm. Right.
you practice yoga first thing in the morning in the garden, and then that was followed by the breakfast. And I'm sure I had that best memory from my those days in Baroda. And also my friends, still remembers those days.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so these are some ways that you can stay encouraged. And of course, like now, having far from my hometown and my homeland, like I'm quite away, right? And I have this difficulty to find the community of like-minded people here.
Mm-hmm.
So just for me to stay encouraged, that there are few ways, like I'm doing some yoga challenges over the Instagram, or reading about some good books of yoga, and staying in touch with Instagram and online communities can only help us to stay encouraged. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so just keep yourself encouraged and motivated, right? So
Okay. Right.
that will
Absolutely.
also help to reduce the procrastination.
Correct. 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 Okay, Sajal. Yeah. Thank you. My next question is about what if we don't practice yoga at all? Okay.
Right.
What happens then? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's I'm asking because whatever you will say, that will be uh, like very inspiring, and it will be initially, it will be like scaring for people, whatever you're going to say, right?
Right,
Because whatever
right,
you will say, it will be like a disadvantage, or some
right,
negative things that. But yes, I think it will be inspiring to people, because some kind
right.
of threat, or that scare is necessary. So please go ahead. Hmm.
So I wouldn't say that it is really very threatening if you don't practice yoga, but let
Mm-hmm.
me just answer this. Yeah. So of
Okay.
course we are missing out the greatest gift of our ancient races to the world and to the humanity if we don't practice yoga, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it might be so that you practice several years, and over the years you reduce or you slow down in your practice. That's fine, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to physically practice yoga every day for that matter. We can still implement philosophies of yoga. Uh, Yoga doesn't mean that you just roll out your mat and you just practice yoga asana, right? It's more comprehensive. It
Mm-hmm.
has this philosophy of yoga, like yama, niyama, pranaya, awareness of the breathing. So you can still implement those things without doing yoga physically, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
however, having a firm base of asana can help us with other practices to follow strongly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, having a strong body. Some people just immediately start doing pranayama before doing yoga, before doing any physical asana. So
Mm-hmm.
of course pranayama is helpful, but if you have a stronger body and you have a good control over your body. For example, the importance of having a strong body is you are able to sit properly
Mm-hmm.
without slouching or with a straight
Mm-hmm.
spine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's why we do asana, and that's why this order is kept in the Yoga Sutra by Patanjali. That
Mm-hmm.
why the asana first and why the pranayama later on. So that is where the importance of strong body. So you first take control of your body, and then having a strong body helps us to gain control over our breathing, right? And that's where you start pranayama.
Mm-hmm.
And having a strong pranayama practice helps us with the meditation, and that's where you do the meditation. So that that's how is the whole order of the practices. But even a person not doing yoga would have some of this faculty developed. It's not only
Mm-hmm.
that the person who is doing yoga only can have a good control. There are people, right, who has a good control over their mind. But of course doing this yoga helps us to develop and refine these faculties of our mind, breath,
Mm-hmm.
and the body
Mm-hmm.
patterns. So
Right.
that's where the role of yoga comes into the picture.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I had, because I had heard in past about that yoga not only consists the asanas, but yes, of course, pranayama and the other the breathing techniques that you just said, right? So yeah, I mean, that was really good thing that you just said. Ki not only the asana, that is
Yeah,
yeah. So right.
there are
Yeah.
so many ways that we can incorporate the philosophies of yoga
Mm,
into our
correct.
life, right? But
Right.
yes, of course, having a strong base, and like I said, 10 years back I started my practice, and now I have good awareness of the philosophies of all around the yoga and all. So firm base is
Mm,
important, but not
mm,
necessarily that if you do this only, then you're good, otherwise you're not good.
Right, right, right. Okay. For now, my next question is about people who are who do not have much time in the morning, and they have to go office, just like you. So, what do you think for those people? Any quick techniques, any quick asanas or pranayam, or the yam niyam, whatever you just said, all those in order. what do you suggest to people that okay, let at least start with this and do at least this for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever it is. So any quick
Right.
things? Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing quickly comes to my mind is the doing the Surya Namaskar. You can just
Mm.
do 5 Surya Namaskar when you are sort of time, or when you don't have any other schedule. So even for me, there are days, I nothing comes to my mind, and I don't feel like doing anything, or I think when I go to the mat, I don't know what I want to do today, and Surya Namaskar is the first thing that comes as a comes as a handy practice, that you
Mm-hmm.
just start doing that first.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yes, so set of 5 Surya Namaskar. Anyways, it's even in our daily practice also, having a 5 Surya Namaskar, practicing 5 Surya Namaskar is a good start, to warm up your
Okay.
body.
Okay.
So that's the first thing I can suggest. And then also if you have a limited time, also you can incorporate some routine body stretches, like Gomukhasana. It's like this. You just stretch your body
Mm. Yeah.
like
Okay.
this, right?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
so
Mm.
because the whole day we just keep sitting in front of computer, those are doing work, or even in kitchen,
Mm.
some women, just spend time in the kitchen.
Mm.
We just keep doing work with our hands forward, and
Mm.
develops this kind of pattern. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so this kind of stretches, there are also other kind of stretches, which of course I can't show you now, but you can just do it like that, while you're walking, or while you're doing some home course around, right?
Right.
So probably not requiring even a dedicated time slot.
Mm.
Of course, also you can do some forward bend in 10 minutes time. Forward bend stretches you can also do. uh, uh, yeah, you can just sit cross-legged. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's not, I'm saying that is a 10-minute time, but it's just that use those postures in your daily life while you are eating, or
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
sit on a chair. Like right now also I'm sitting on a chair, but I'm just sitting cross-legged, right? So I'm
Okay.
just using my hip joints properly. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so those are some ways that you can incorporate the good practices even while you're
Mm-hmm.
not on the mat, basically, right?
Right.
So also some days it can be a session of pranayama, right? Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like a Kapalbhati, Basrika, or Anulom Vilom. So you also earlier asked me that how not to procrastinate. So that also comes down to that habits are formed best when you link it with your routine habits. So
Mm.
for example, before I go for office, every day I have a cup of tea. So my routine is that like, of course, exactly, I have like 10 minutes time, right? So I take out my 10 minutes time before I have my cup of tea. So I just sit down on my chair, and with cross leg, and I do some pranayama, 10 minutes
Mm-hmm.
pranayama, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll have my cup of tea, and then I'll go for leave for
Mm-hmm.
office. So
Okay.
you can just link your habits like this, that before you
Mm-hmm.
have cup of tea, you just do this, or before you brush in act, you should do this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that will also help to form
Okay.
the habit. Yeah.
Right. 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 Yeah, I mean, you're doing so consistently, so that probably you have found different ways to, incorporate this in your daily life that you don't miss any day. So, yeah.
Yeah, correct, because even I don't have a like full, if honestly speaking, full 60-hour time slot. It's very difficult to find out that time slot, right? So it's just using the smaller chunks of time slot, and make it a fun and interesting
Mm,
uh,
mm,
yeah, to
right.
practice.
Okay. Okay. Now my probably last question about, what are the advantages of doing yoga over gym? Because nowadays you must have seen, many people. I mean, they are very passionate about gym. They do a lot of exercise. I mean, they lift so much weight and all, and then suddenly their hearts start beating. So what do you want to say? I mean, how do you want to compare these two things?
Right. So, see, it's not just that, again, I would like to say that doing gym is not bad, but overdoing of anything is not bad, right? Be it yoga
Mm-hmm.
practice, or be it anything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, balance is important, like we all know. So, yeah, I'll say that you can still do gym while doing yoga, but yoga is a very comprehensive regime, right? So, gym is
Mm-hmm.
just for good health, physics, and fitness. but it doesn't help with developing all-around personality, all-rounded personality, right? Because yoga is a gateway to access to the spirituality for a common people, through which we nurture not only our body and mind but our soul, which is for this life and beyond, right? So you're nurturing yourself through the practice of yoga, and I believe every person should develop some time even in studying spirituality as well along with and then yoga is a great tool to access to the spirituality.
Right.
So yeah, I wouldn't say that gym is bad. Even I do some practices which is outside of yoga. Like this last few months, I have been practicing barre, or sometimes I feel like okay, yoga doesn't give me good cardio. I still get that huffing feeling, so I kind of go for jogging and things like that. So it's nothing bad about doing anything else, but yes, balance is important, right? So of course those who are doing only gym miss out on so many good things that yoga offers. So that's where I would like to add.
Okay. Yeah, balance is everything. You're right. And that is your tagline in your bio, Instagram bio, right?
Yes, balance is everything. Whatever you do in life, correct. So difficult to achieve, but yes, balance is everything. So
absolutely. And I can really see that on your face, the charm, the glow that you have. I think that the credit goes to your daily yoga practice, probably. Yeah. So good.
Yeah. So like I'm also like a struggling yogi, like many other people. I just go. I just have like 9-10 hours job and routine, and also. So I wouldn't favor the person who is only talking about yoga and not doing anything else, or the person who's talking about only gym and not seeking benefit of anything else. So yeah, it comes down to balances everything.
Right. Sejal, any specific book you suggest for new yogis who want to start doing yoga practice, who want to refer to certain things from a theory point of view?
From theory point of view, I think it's a book of Bikesh Iyengar. I think I would have suggested. Let me just check. I can't recall the name, but it's one very good book of Bikesh Iyengar. I think it's written like probably 50 years back now, but it's still widely used in practice. So. Light on Yoga. Yeah,
and light
name
on
is
yoga.
Light on Yoga. So
okay, light on yoga. Right. Okay.
It demonstrates. Yeah. Light on Yoga. Probably I would have recommended you also at some point in time, right? So it has all the right. So I have I have recommended this to everyone who is around me. Started practicing with me together, and even as a beginner beginner practitioner, I also bought that book, and it has all the postures from easy to difficult level, and week by week what you can practice, and that's this full description. There's also a good amount of philosophy mentioned in there. There's also the mention of the kriyas and pranayama there. So it's really a good comprehensive book to start with.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. And then there are so many other books, which I can provide you as a side note. I can put it in the links. But yeah, that's the first book that basically all the yogis should read.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Sejal, that was cool. I mean, that was really good. I mean, you shared about different kinds of impacts of yoga on mind, body and soul, how it helps to manage the emotions, and of course some good and basic practices that anyone can do in their daily lives. So this was really quick session. I would say I would request you to come again on the show, and we can now categorize on yoga practices. Like we can have one session on yam, niyam, pranayam, and all those stuff. That would be the best thing. So
so yam. Yam niyam is work in progress for me as well, for everyone in life. So you never. So as a yoga itself as an overall thing is always work in progress, but definitely I look forward to coming back to your side. to your Zoom session again, and aspects of yoga now. This was more about the explanation and theory. So yeah, but I would just like to add as a end note that these days the artificial intelligences has come over in all the fields, right? So there's this new topic, there's this new topic also coming in the field of yoga, that what is the role of artificial intelligence. So so I don't know whether it has capability to replace the human aspect there or not. So yeah, that's where this interesting study is there. And yeah, just my reflection over this would be that it won't replace the human straight away, but the tools like ChatGPT can help a person to develop the plan, like you said, how you plan your day, or how you plan a week. So you just ask ChatGPT that I would like to develop my five day a week practice with yoga, with not very intense level of yoga, or let's say intermediate level of yoga, and ChatGPT can give you that kind of format, day wise format.
Does it give?
So yeah, so yes.
Okay.
And for example, if you want to work on a particular posture, you can ask that ChatGPT, I want to learn forearm stand, which are the ways that I can improve on these things, right? So those are the ways that artificial intelligence can the practice now. But of course, as I said, that it can't replace the human element. Like since old time, right, we always have a of yoga, right? So and that is very important to take you ahead in the journey of yoga. Correct. So that will still be there, but these are some ways which probably the viewers can find it helpful, to just ask ChatGPT and
no, that's a good reflection.
Or even you can ask that I'm running out of motivation. Yeah, you can ask that I'm running out of motivation. Just yeah. So these are some ways.
Good. No, I mean, right. That was really good that you shared this thing. Like I have never thought of that. Okay, yoga and AI, but that's really good right. thing. And thank you for sharing this.
There.
And just last comment, yesterday I was watching one self-help video on YouTube about Deepak Chopra, who is like a self-help guru. He mentioned that we are living in the era where we are flooded with a lot of information, and so you can Correct. Get anything from anywhere. But the basic Correct. Question is that the answer that you need to find out is like, who am I? Right? That question you cannot Correct. Ask anywhere. So. Thank you, Sejal. Thank you so much for your time. And this is my invitation. You need to come again on the show and share another beautiful insights on yoga and around everything. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Advait. I think what you are doing is wonderful. It's very nice to see you in a very different format than what I have known you. So definitely, thank you for having me here, and I look forward to coming back.
Thank you, Sejal. Yeah, bye.
Bye.